Developments in KwaZulu-Natal in terms of the shutdown, also other developments in terms of the political sphere. Samkele Maseko is our man on the ground. He comes to us live from outside the ANC provincial offices in Durban, the port city of Durban. Samkele, developments, what are you hearing? What's the latest?
Essentially, what's going to happen now, Blaine, is that the ANC in the province, the provincial chairperson and the provincial secretary, Mtumseni Ntuli and Sihlezi Galala, are currently engaged in a National Executive Committee meeting of the African National Congress. They're giving an update on the political and economic situation and the social unrest that is unfolding within the province, with those trucks being burnt in Moy River, with trucks going towards Richards Bay on the N2, blockading the roads yesterday, and the various economic sabotage that has taken place in the province, with those protesting against the incarceration of former President Jacob Zuma, and those insinuating that he was essentially arrested by President Ramaphosa. They are on a rampage across the province. We do know that certain MECs and certain provincial leaders of the ANC were deployed across all 11 regions of the party to speak to ANC members and to speak to the organizers of these unrest, to try and quell the tensions that are unfolding. We do know that certain meetings were taking place in Pietermaritzburg yesterday to try and diffuse the situation. They were seemingly not fruitful as the situation escalated yesterday evening. But what we also do know, is that the ANC in Mpumalanga has taken action against Mr. Michael Ngwenya, the deputy convener of Ehlanzeni region, who is the former regional chair of that region, who led ANC branches going towards Nkandla to support former President Jacob Zuma. The province has decided to temporarily suspend his membership with immediate effect for breaking lockdown regulations by busing in people from Mpumalanga going towards KwaZulu-Natal in Nkandla to support former President Jacob Zuma, breaking COVID-19 lockdown regulations.
Response from Michael Ngwenya.
We've still been trying to contact Mr. Ngwenya. We've not yet been able to contact him. What we have seen are images of Mr. Ngwenya receiving his suspension letter from the ANC's PEC, signed by the provincial secretary Lindiwe Nchalinchali, who's acting within that particular position. So they have effectively notified Mr. Ngwenya. He has signed the temporary suspension. But this is not the first time that Mr. Ngwenya is suspended by the African National Congress. You'd remember 2 years ago, he also had a tiff where he was allegedly to have manhandled Lindiwe Nchalinchali, the acting provincial secretary of the ANC, who then brought a case against him, and the issue went ahead to the ANC's national leadership of the governing party, which decided to overturn Mr. Ngwenya's suspension, but warn him that violence within the governing party will be prohibited. So essentially, there have been tussles within the governing party. They have been struggling to rein in Mr. Ngwenya, who has also on previous occasions said that when you see him, you are seeing the deputy president of the ANC, Titi Mabuza. When he speaks, those are the views of the deputy president. But of late, he says that he is Mr. Ngwenya and he only speaks and represents Ngwenya.
So these latest developments with regards to Michael Ngwenya, what does that say? What are commentators saying in terms of how the party itself, the ANC, is handling the situation in KwaZulu-Natal?
Essentially, what is playing out is that the ANC is not only dealing with this particular perspective from a province of KwaZulu-Natal only, it also has national implications, as you have seen that the ANC has suspended Carl Niehause's membership is temporarily suspended with immediate effect. He says he's appealing. Ngwenya is the second person to be suspended. This comes after the ANC Deputy Secretary General said after that special NEC meeting on Monday, there would be consequence management, there would be action taken against ANC members who disobeyed and who broke lockdown regulations in that illegal political gathering that took place outside former President Jacob Zuma's home. We do know that a letter will also be sent to the Secretary General of the African National Congress, who suspended Ace Magashule, who lost out at the South Gauteng High Court yesterday for trying to overturn his suspension and also to enforce the suspension of ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. The party is seeking to get clarity from him on his comments that structures of the ANC whose mandate have expired, who've been dissolved, to disobey and to rebel against the ANC leadership, who is seemingly wanting to disband all branches of the governing party. In essence, that may be seen by others in the governing party as the suspended Secretary General promoting parallel structures within the governing party. So the ANC has essentially said they want him to come and explain his own comments to the governing party on what he meant by saying that if branches are disbanded, they must still remain as a branch. If regions are disbanded or dissolved, they must still remain as regions. If ANC members are suspended or expelled, they must still remain ANC members, and only listen to them as the leaders of the governing party, and that the commander-in-chief in the form of former President Jacob Zuma would be providing clarity and direction to that particular perspective or faction of the governing party.
All right, Samkele Maseko, live for us in Durban. We thank you very much indeed for that update with regards to the state of play, not only in the ANC, but what it means for the province of KwaZulu-Natal at large. Appreciate it. All right, look, KZN so-called shutdown is currently happening. We have eyes on that.